56 days. May 12, you played for Tweed in the National Under-18s Premiership, and then July 7, you played your NRL debut.
Yeah.
Must have been pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy. It went from one thing to the other. It just didn't stop.
Oh, Coates.
2020, tough year for the Brisbane Broncos.
Their first ever wooden spoon.
There was stuff going on everywhere, and I sort of thought to myself, is this what NRL is all about?
Welcome to Melbourne!
We can't talk about 2024 without talking about one of the greatest moments probably in rugby league history, probably the greatest match winner ever.
They have to win it with a try. He goes to... Xavier Coates! Can you believe it? My God! Unbelievable!
Xavier, what a wild 2024 it was for you, obviously playing first grand final, making your Kangaroos debut. How do you reflect on it all?
It was a bit of a up and down year for me personally. You know, had the highs of playing for the Kangaroos and making my first grand final, but I think also had the lows of a fair few hamstring injuries, which took a little bit of a toll on myself, and it was a bit annoying to sort of rehab and get back out on the field, then redo it, and then get back out on the field and redo it again. 3 times I tore my hamstring, but I think looking at the positives, like you said, the Kangaroos debut was pretty special for myself, representing my dad's side of the family and also making my first grand final. A lot of ups and downs, but grateful for all the experiences that I had.
We can't talk about 2024 without talking about one of the greatest moments probably in rugby league history, probably the greatest match winner ever.
Now they're too close. They have to win it with a try. Hughes, Peasant, Pappenhausen, Remus Smith. He goes to Xavier Coates. Can you believe it? Coates. My gosh. He leaped across. He jumped like a rainbow and came up with a pot of gold for Melbourne. Unbelievable! Oh, that's the best try I've ever seen.
Round 2 against the Warriors. How many times do you reckon you've seen that try replayed now?
Well, I didn't think it was going to get replayed that many times when I sort of done it. The cool thing about it is I had a shocker of a game, but no one remembers that. They just remember the try. So if anyone's watching this, don't go back and watch the highlights of the game. Just watch the end highlights. So, no, it's pretty cool to look back on.
Obviously, you wingers practice those tries all the time, but even that would have shocked you, right? I think you jumped from like 6-7 metres out. Like, it was pretty impressive, even for yourself.
A lot of NRL clubs practice it with their wingers and finishing in corners, and we do the same down here. So I think it's pretty cool that the stuff that you practice out on the training pitch comes out in the game sort of scenarios, and I'm just lucky it came off. We ended up winning the game from it.
Was that your favourite try in your career so far?
To be fair, my debut try was pretty special for myself, scoring our first try in the NRL in my first game, but that try against the Warriors would definitely have to be a close second.
So last year's try, that obviously wins try of the year. You've also won tackle of the year.
This is new. Bit of footwork on Walker. Intercept. Gagai's away. Johnston in support. Gagai may back himself all the way. Gagai sprinting away from Coates. Oh, what a tackle! Xavier Coates.
Didn't really mean much in the end. We ended up getting flogged, but yeah, still a pretty cool moment to sort of look back on.
Your good mate Tommy Dearden, he won tackle of the year last year for a pretty epic chase down as well. Who do you reckon had the better chase down, him or your one back on Gags a couple of years ago?
Oh, I think Tommy's was pretty cool just because Big Cobbo's a big fella and he runs pretty quick, and for Tommy, he's only a small fella to come across field and take his legs out. I think that was pretty special, and he's my OG roommate from back in the day, back up in Brizzy, so it's good to see one of my mates doing really well. So yeah, I reckon Tommy's was pretty good.
Hughes, kick for Coates, look for a flying Xavier Coates, he's there, he's got it! You want an X factor, you've got Xavier!
Your athleticism, obviously, so impressive, and that's what you thought was your career path when you were younger, right? Like you wanted to be an athlete and compete in athletics?
I started training track and field when I was 10 years of age, and I sort of was following that all the way through till I was about 15, 16, and I wasn't making any rugby league rep teams at the time, and I was playing my junior footy at the Currumbin Eagles. And at the time when I was 15, 16, I was going to give it up, but my junior coach, Matt Guy, who used to play at the Melbourne Storm, is a club legend. He ended up speaking to me and sort of saying, what do I think about playing just one more year just for fun with all my mates? And I was sort of a bit hesitant. I was thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I not? And he ended up getting Greg Inglis to write a letter to me and wrote down a little letter. It wasn't much. I don't think Greg Inglis would even remember it, but he was my favourite player at the time. And he wrote a little letter just sort of saying, stick to it, work hard and good things will happen. And I still have this letter to this day back on the Gold Coast, and it's in a little frame, and that's sort of what got me motivated to keep playing rugby league, and ended up playing one more year for fun. And then good things started happening off the back of that, and then I sort of put the athletics career to the side and decided to play rugby league, and haven't looked back since.
You got a lot of comparisons to Greg early in your career. People said you reminded them of the way you played, and Israel Folau as well. Like that must have been pretty cool when you were coming through. I know you never want to be compared to those guys, but it must be nice that people look at you and think, oh, it reminds me of him.
When I was growing up, I used to watch highlights from everyone. I used to see Greg Inglis highlights, Izzy Folau highlights, diving in the corner. I used to watch all their highlights and try to take little bits from their games, and I probably practiced the flashy stuff too much and not the basics, but I sort of developed that a bit later on down the line. But yeah, it's definitely cool getting those comparisons.
Inglis is making a run down the left side.
Now Coates putting the foot down.
You were a pretty good athlete, right? Like you long jump, things like that. You're sprinting. You're at a young age quite excelled in those things.
Went to national championships and ended up going pretty well there, and that's when I sort of thought if I take this pretty seriously it could lead to something pretty special, and it just so happened to be that rugby league ended up taking over just because all my mates from school were playing rugby league, and I thought I wanted to be a part of that. I didn't want to be left out.
You once clocked, I think, the fastest time in the NRL at one point in your career. Like, do you think you're still up there for pace? Do you reckon you could match it with some of the quickest blokes still today, or some of the younger blokes got you now?
I think you always got to back yourself, and I know I've got a bit of speed about me, but you know, it's pretty hard to sort of find out who's the quickest because in different parts of the game, everyone's fatigued in different areas. So someone makes a break, someone might have been defending their line for how many sets and they're fatigued and they're trying to chase them down, and it's hard to sort of find out who's the quickest. I think the only real way to sort of do it is to do an actual 100-metre race.
Now to the right side, intercept. Coates, a sprint is on. Xavier Coates, he's got Keary covered, has he? He's away from Keary, chased by Ponga. Coates has got enough.
You mentioned Matt Guy before. You've had a long relationship with the guys. Tell me about that relationship.
He finished his career down here at the Melbourne Storm. He moved up to the Gold Coast, and his son, Cole Guy, he started playing junior footy at the Currumbin Eagles, and that's where I was playing my junior footy, and we become best mates straight away pretty much, and just kept playing junior footy together. And then we got into high school, and Matty Guy ended up becoming a teacher, and he started teaching at Marymount College, which is where I went to school, and Cole went to school there as well. So my best mate's there, best mate's dad's there, who I see as a big mentor in my career, and not only in my career but off the field as well. A lot of struggles I have off the field, he's always there to help me out, him and his family. Belinda Guy is a big one in there as well, his partner and his family. They've looked after me ever since I was back on the Gold Coast.
Matty Guy and Cameron Smith are good mates as well, aren't they? Like, did you encounter Cameron much in your childhood?
Smithy used to come to a few of our Currumbin Eagles matches when we were juniors, and it's pretty cool, like the Australian, Queensland and Melbourne Storm captain coming to watch junior footy games. It was pretty awesome, so definitely tried to get the ball in my hands and score some full field tries to try and impress them. But no, it's definitely cool, and I used to go over to the guys' places a fair bit and used to chill out there, and randomly he would pop over and I thought, oh my God, that's Cameron Smith. And yeah, it was pretty cool. He also used to get sort of Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk to the junior footy games as well, so they used to interact with us when we were young kids. It's pretty cool to think that I'm here at the Melbourne Storm now and have that sort of connection with them, being a Melbourne Storm player and them being a Melbourne Storm player as well.
You played Currumbin Eagles, you mentioned. You played with Tommy Dearden, right? Like, you guys played junior footy together and good mates. Like, tell me about your relationship with Tom.
We played junior footy, like you said, at the Currumbin Eagles together, and we done a bit of the Broncos Academy together. So I was at Marymount College, he was at PBC, and we used to finish school early, and I used to wait in the car park. He used to come pick me up, and then we used to travel up to Broncos training and used to train up there. He used to drive me back down as well. So definitely a really good mate of mine, and we ended up becoming roommates up in Brisbane when we were 17. So we stayed with Andrew McCulloch, who the McCulloch family, him and Carly, they looked after us, and he's doing really well at the Cowboys now. So it's good to see, like I said, one of my good mates doing really well.
You guys got to play Origin together last year, right?
We played Currumbin Eagles juniors together, and then we played Malmaninga Cup together at Tweed Seagulls. We played at Brisbane Broncos together, and then we ended up playing Queensland State of Origin together. So, and then ended up debuting together at the Kangaroos. So 5 big teams that we ended up playing together with.
Tell me about living at the McCulloch house, because I feel like they played some pranks on you guys, didn't they, over the years?
Yeah, he kept the rent real low, so we were loving that. But yeah, the jump scares we weren't too happy with that stuff. We done this horror movie marathon. So Monday we started off with the first horror movie, and then we finished on Sunday with the last one. And yeah, he ended up ordering a costume that Monday night, and then the costume come in. So he planned the whole week out. Ended up getting the costume Sunday in the delivery. We watched the last movie, and then he ended up putting the costume on. Carly was filming, and he come in and scared us. And he used to just set up things like that, and used to get all the boys in on it as well. And I think that was his bit of enjoyment. You know, the young fellas living with him, paying low rent, but in return, I think he gets a few jump scares and reactions that he can post on Instagram and get a bit of a laugh out of.
I've seen videos of you, and they've gone viral, a lot of videos of you, how scared you get. Why are you such a scaredy cat?
When I was younger, I grew up on the Gold Coast, and we were renting a place in Currumbin, and I was a young fella, and I had older siblings, and they used to get all the sort of people in the street, all the young kids, they used to come together, and there was this one mask that scared me heaps when I was younger. It was like a mask and had a bit of hair on it, and I used to hate it. It looked awful. They put it on a broomstick, and we had a 2-story house, and they used to tap on the window with the broomstick and the mask on it, and I was up the top, and I was only a young kid. I was 6 or 7, and I used to open up the blinds, and I used to see the mask, and I used to absolutely pants. I was gone. I was scared. And I think to this day, I'm still scared of that mask. It's sort of still stuck in my head. So I think maybe that's why I'm so scared when the sort of jump scares come out.
OK, well, we're here with the Melbourne Storm boys. Will Warbrick. Will, welcome. First time we've had a chat to you. Harold, and my name's Xavier. And it's certainly not Xavier, is it?
Xavier.
Fletch and Hindy got you this year.
Yeah.
They stitched you up a little bit.
Yeah. I knew something was happening. At the start of that interview, I knew something was going to happen, and I said it, but I was still looking around, and then got us comfortable and ended up getting us. So it was a bad experience, that one.
So we feel...
Oh, no way, man!
You almost took Harry out. Like he could have done his knee, shoulder, anything, because you pushed him to get away from that snake.
Yeah, no, I wasn't worried about him. I was worried about getting away from that snake. That's a big snake, so I don't like snakes, spiders, insects.
No, please, no, please, stop, please, stop. No. I beg you, no, please, stop. I'm gonna cry, man, please stop.